welcome to tonight's recap of Survivor.
Well,
It was crazy as usual.
it was really, really good. This might have been the best one of the season.
Oh.
Tyson is thrown under the bus by Hayden.
Hayden is realizing the second he gets back from Tribal Council, he needs to start this campaign to get rid of
Immediately,
Tyson.
because he's the
He's
next
next.
target. He's next.
Here, you're next!
They want you. All right.
So, it looks like Hayden's a target, because he is.
All right, so at Redemption, it's Tina, Laura, and Caleb. Caleb totally dissed Jervis and Tyson when he walked in.
Yeah, when they walked into the duel arena, Jeff was like, you got anything to say? He's like, y'all suck. Just kidding.
It's like, oh, I guess they do things differently in Philadelphia and Utah.
Shout out to Jervis and Tyson.
All right, so
Jervis is like, you're just a sore loser.
yeah. So the duel is the old House of Tile cards. There's a 30-minute limit unless you make it to the 8-foot height.
Yeah, 8 feet, and if nobody makes it by then or whatever,
Right.
whoever has the highest tower.
So Laura's
Moves on.
totally in the lead, and she ends up being the first one completed. She was really good at this. Is there anything that she's not good at? I didn't realize
Staying
that
in the
she
game.
Yeah. All right. So Caleb's falls, and it was a heartbreaker.
There was less than a minute left before the time was up, and Caleb had a pretty sizable lead, so you would think, maybe just don't touch it and wait it out.
Right.
But he kept going, and it fell with like a few seconds left. So Tina ended up winning.
Yeah.
Or beating him.
So
That means Caleb is out.
Sierra gets the clue from her mom. I think the only reason why Sierra wanted her mom to win was because she knew she'd get the clue.
That's what it sounded like. She's like, I really need her to win this one.
So
Not
I can
because,
get
like,
the clue.
she wants her to stay in the game, because she wants
Right.
the clue. So there is a new idol in play.
And when they get back to camp, they all sneak off the little alliance of 4. If you don't know who that is, it's Tyson, Jervis, Sierra, and Monica. They have a group clue reading, and then
Really? That's stupid.
they start looking, and then Hayden and Katie are like, what are we doing here? We should be looking too.
So they follow them out there. Why not?
Yeah, so everybody's looking. It was right above Hayden's head at one
Ah!
point. I just wanted to say, look up there.
Did that hurt?
No. And then, I know, it sounded like it, right? It didn't. All
Well,
right.
he didn't get it. But Tyson snuck off on his own later, and he
Right.
ended up finding it again.
And again, he put it in his crotch area. If I was Jeff Probst, I would not touch
Yeah,
that.
right? Like, I would not want to
Where's
touch that
this
either.
been?
I would be like, put it on this table.
Exactly. All right, so Hayden ends up propositioning Jervis while Tyson was gone
He's like, let's
to get rid of
him.
Tyson.
Jervis
Why
is
not?
like, maybe, which means no.
No. So it's time for the immunity challenge, and it's the old obstacle course. The first part, you have to go through it with your stick. And
You're
it's
walking
got
on a
ball.
balance beam.
Well, multiple things. And you have to walk with your stick with the ball on it. Then after that, you have to knock down your targets with sandbags.
Well, also, you're adding on more.
Yeah, more
length to
pole
the pole.
space. Yeah. So the
It's tough.
reward, though, this was pretty cool. It was an ice cream party.
Ice cream social!
So Monica was totally leading. She was like a robot during this thing.
Just like all the other challenges.
Yeah.
So then it was pretty much Monica and Jervis. Katie kept getting hit in the head by her ball
It kept falling off and bonking her on the
more
head.
than once.
So Jervis and Monica, and actually Tyson at the very end too, were in a real power squeeze.
Yeah,
as
but
to
it
the
really came
sandbags.
down to Jervis and Monica.
And Jervis pulled it out. He almost lost it,
Yeah.
but he ended up winning it. He got to choose two people to take along,
Two people.
to take along to the ice cream cart. And at first he chose Monica, and then his second choice was Tyson. He had to
Of
pay
course.
back Monica for that big gesture that she
Yeah.
made for everybody.
If I was Sierra, I'd be like, 3 of my alliance members are all getting reward, and I'm not.
When you think about it, though, come on. He had to pick Monica.
Did he?
He did. And
Did he have to pick Tyson?
yes, he did.
Well, I think it's a red flag for Sierra, obviously.
All right. Well,
So they're back at camp, and the ice cream cart pulls up
ice cream.
iced cream.
Yeah. Yeah. So they had to eat it right there in front of everybody. That sucked.
Well,
For
Hayden
the
still
other people.
managed to pull Sierra aside and be like, we should get rid of Tyson.
And she was like, no, I won't do it.
Yeah. So then Hayden talks to Jervis and Sierra.
And they were like, no, we won't do it. He tried to give him a final 3 deal. Tyson came over. He's like, yo, bro, I'm just playing the game.
Yep.
And Tyson's like, yes, you are.
Well, what is he to do next?
You're just playing.
Going into Tribal, he's like, I'm just going to pull out all the stops, go crazy, B to the W, and
he
let it
pretty
all
much did.
out. Yeah.
So at Tribal, Hayden says everyone's being controlled by Tyson. Haha.
Yeah, and Sarah's like, I'm really comfortable in my alliance.
Okay. And then all hell breaks loose after Katie is chastised by Jeff when he's like, are you even playing?
Yeah. She's like, oh, all
What?
this political stuff. He's like, that is Survivor.
That was hilarious. That was one of the best moments of this episode.
I don't know. There were a lot of good moments, including the jury totally getting involved, like laughing and being like, do this.
Everyone, meaning Tyson and Jervis.
No, it was everyone.
And Hayden fighting over
Monica
Sierra.
was in there too.
Well, yeah.
Katie was just watching.
Katie didn't know what the hell was going on.
So Hayden would be like, Sierra, you're number 4 in your alliance. You suck. Come with us.
Right.
And then the other alliance would be like, no, that's not true.
And then the jury was just like, oh.
The jury was loving it. And
Oh,
I was
yeah.
loving watching them love it.
And then Hayden pulls out, you don't want to rustle any feathers, do you?
And then, during the middle of an argument, Tyson is like, it's not Russell, man. Russell's a name. It's Ruffle. You don't want to ruffle any feathers. And Hayden was just like, and then everyone was just like,
And then Jeff was like,
yeah. It
And
was
then-
nuts.
yeah. So then they had the vote, and best vote of the year,
Jervis.
Hey Dunn. He
This
spelled
isn't
it.
Big Brother.
Yeah, we do things differently here. And he gave the speech that it was obvious that everybody could hear because they were all chuckling it up.
Yeah.
So it ended up being a tie because Sierra, that little bee, flipped.
Ah, again.
So 3-3 for Monica and Hayden. Then they did the old, okay, everyone's voting now except Monica and Hayden.
Mm-hmm.
And it ended up being a deadlock, which means we draw rocks.
Oh boy.
They don't do this too often.
They said, I think this was the second time.
Right. So, draw rocks. The people who were originally voted for have immunity. Jervis has immunity, so it's either Katie, Tyson,
Or
or
Sierra.
Monica. Oh, I'm sorry, Sierra. So they draw the rocks, and Katie is out, which is just as well because she didn't know what was going on anyway.
I would have laughed so hard if it was Sierra.
I know, that would have been the ultimate. But Tyson was very snarky at the end. You know, with good reason.
But he had an attitude with Katie, and she wasn't in his alliance anyway, so, like, why are you going to be mad at her?
Yeah.
Sierra's the one that flipped.
Well, Katie arrives on Redemption, and scenes from next week all point towards, I think I'm going to throw it to you, Katie.
Says Tina.
Yeah, and Sierra goes to work on Monica, trying to get her to flip over to her alliance.
I don't think so.
Because guess what? You're going home, Sierra, if you can't find anybody else. All right.
It's gonna be good.
I know. This is a great season. Till next time, much
Much
love.